Let me pop out the chat. Yeah, There we go. You're live. Yay. Testing. Let's make that so I can read it. There we go. How we doing, everybody? There's my water. Can we hear me? Can we see me? Did I do it right? How we doing? I I could not focus enough when it's just me and the camera. Man. Hello. This is kind of, yeah, right? I didn't even, look how bad the thumbnail is, the title, the description. It's all a mess. I can't focus right now. Hi. Hello, hi. I'm assuming that means we can hear me. Oh, I love seeing that everyone's checking in with each other in chat too. That's so nice. I'm glad. Smash that like, gamers. Remember to subscribe. Audio and visuals are fine. Perfect. Thank you. I had everything set up for my Resident Evil 4 finale stream tonight on my gaming channel plug, and then I had to change everything for this, and it was such a mess. Oh, man. Correct. This is what we will call a bit of a Bill moment. Oh, good. Now Morgan and Elijah are encouraging me to get to stick to my my Hootie hole theory tattoo promise. I'm being peer pressured. Help, Mom, come pick me up. So today was a lot of news, and it keeps coming. Yes, I saw that. Oh my goodness, Charcoal Hawk. They also released all the pictures from Hollow Mind. Yeah, Rebecca Rose just went, okay. So today's been a bit of a day. I forgot to pull that up too. We'll pull that up. I wanted to start with focusing on not only Dana's tweet, but also Andy Garner-Flexner. They also worked on making the poster and also did worked past tense, that hurts, worked on the Owl House, and I think he did the collector portrait background hollow collector thing. I'm emotionally not ready. Same. I'm not doing good. I can't even focus. Focusing. Andy Garner-Flexner. However you feel about social media apps, I have to use them to promote my stuff poorly, but I do my best. Shout out to them. Go check out their stuff, right? Oh, I wrote down my notebook is all the way up. Can you pass me my notebook from the coffee table? Pretty please. Alana's modding. Everyone say hi to Alana. Like and subscribe. Shit. I take so many notes. He and they, yes, nailed it. I'm amazing. It's like learning someone's name. It's not hard. It's about respect. Anyway, is this the real poster? Yes. These are my receipts. Mask off. These are my receipts. Yeah, as you can see, Dana's tweet, which doesn't say any words. Everything lasts forever. Dana, no, I'm kidding. Here's Dana's original tweet. These are screenshots from my phone because I don't do desktop social media. It'll ruin my life. Same reason why I don't do TikTok, because I'm like, content, too much readily available stuff. I need to compartmentalize. My phone is for plugging, and my MacBook, my little laptop that could, is for editing and streaming and all that crap. But yeah, they both worked on the poster, and also I linked both tweets if you want to see the original as well as Andy. I feel weird saying people's first names that I don't know. Andy Garner-Flexner also, as you can see from the text, has the uncropped version. So before we freak out, let's take a moment to appreciate the art. You know, this stuff doesn't make itself and should continue to not make itself. I don't like the future. Can I have my pen too? Thank you. I'm sorry. Just fidget time. Fidget time is now. Thank you. So let's just appreciate the art before we freak the hell out. Because I'm sitting here and I'm like half screaming, half like, this is really good. Good job. Like, I'm excited. So it's just been a lot of feelings. But yeah, we're gonna take a look at the poster, talk about some theories, and talk about how there's a reality where the little bit that could, the Hootie hole theory might come true. If it does, I think I have to get a tattoo. I'm so dedicated to this bit that like grew into something I believe in, and then I made a video about it while recovering from oral surgery, and it's just out there. Dana Terrace once infamously said that one person was right about Hootie, and I'm tired of joking. I'm tired of not taking myself seriously. What if it's me? The odds are low. Do I think it's me? No. Do I believe? Yes. So anyway, I wanted to make sure that we acknowledge both Dana Terrace. I don't like saying first names. It's weird. That's too familiar. Like I don't know you. Dana Terrace's tweet and also Andy Garner-Flexner's tweet. So I've linked those in the description. And I'm trying to just slide this with my not mouse hand. There we go. So let's we'll start down here. Look at that Pride logo. That was something I noticed while pacing around going, can I make a video? Can I make a video? Look at all them rainbow owl letters. Miss Terrace, Madam Terrace, Ms., Miss. Prefixes are also weird. I'm emotional assassin Dana Terrace, to quote myself. Plug stuff. I do also have so every June and December we do fundraisers on the main channel and the gaming channel. June for Pride Month. It's also Pride Month is also bordered by my late grandfather's birthday and one of my sister's birthdays. So I go from my grandpa's birthday, which is May 30th, to I go through my sister's birthday, so July 2nd. We do fundraisers there. Part of that is going to be from Hootie Hole Theory merch. That's in my merch store, thethirdbill.com. I linked the t-shirt link because it had me do like a whole new description. So all my normal crap isn't there. I need to add the resource links and stuff. So that's my bad. But a portion of that is a portion of the sales from the Hootie Hole Theory merch is also being donated for the June fundraiser. And that'll just last forever. I'll look at the number of sales and it's like 20% is what I'm setting aside. So consider doing that. And also I'm going to add an addendum to the tattoo thing. If we'll also be funding it through shirt sales. So and donos. So buy some merch, donate. If you can't buy merch, you don't want to, or you're unable to right now, you can't buy merch, can't donate, watching and hanging out's a great way too. Like, subscribe, watch, click things, make sure the bell is rung and you're getting notified, blah, 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 blah. Gaming channel, streaming there tonight. Anyway, look at this. Look at the, I'm just focused. No, can we? Nope. Angie King is staying. Great. I just want to focus on, look how pretty the bottom is. And there's like little glyphs of everything. And I already spent way too much time staring at these, seeing if there was a fifth glyph. Hashtag fifth glyph. So we already know from the teaser trailer that there's going to be, I'll be honest, Bill, I mostly watch your gaming videos for your amazing one-liners. Thank you. I do stupid jokes on my videos too. Thank you for that. I needed that today. YouTube doesn't like me anymore and it's terrifying. Do we know when is the series finale? Yes, that will be On Disney Channel Friday evening, so the 8th, I think it's 8 o'clock Pacific time, and then 10:30 Pacific time, it'll be on YouTube as well. So that's, I should have done that. Why am I'm I'm the Disney now. I'm not promoting the Owl House properly. I mean, we love Disney, right, everybody? We love when Disney gives us shows, right? That's a disclaimer I've been drafting several times over. I've been working on a little final. I have all my notes from rewatching the Owl House, my last incomplete Owl House rewatch. And it'll be on Disney Plus on the 9th. Yes, thank you. I hope I said your name right, Aaron. I hope I said that right. I'm not plugging this properly. We love Disney. Thank you, Disney. That's been like my disclaimer I've been drafting so many times, is like, I'm grateful that there's an ending. I'll never be truly happy, but I'm still excited just to see where it's going to end. Hopefully something happens in the future, but who knows? My optimism is running out. But let's focus on the present. Let's focus on the poster. I do genuinely, I love, because I've been noticing each episode of the specials for season 3, they've all had different like little changes to the logo, and especially with For the Future, it had the collector half purple on the owl boy. I loved that it was like collector colored, and also seeing it kind of side by side. I like seeing the switch, right? Thanks to them, we're in the human world. For the Future, we're in the collector's version of the Boiling Isles. I like how it's been changing. I love the rainbow. I was hoping for some kind of hint, and I have to take it as, since we've gotten the traditional, like, I think the color shading might be a little different in thanks to them. The rainbow, not only yay pride, it makes me hopeful for a blending. Already a thought I have there. I tweeted this, not to plug myself, but I forgot. I just found my note that says Bat Queen Belos Big Gulp. I don't like that. We cope in our own ways. But I like that the logo, like I said, it makes me think that there's going to be a blending, because I don't want to spoil other shows, but knowing how Gravity Falls ends and knowing how Amphibia ends, I won't spoil either one. I did videos about Amphibia and have seen Gravity Falls years ago, so I can't do reactions on that. Knowing how sister shows end, there's a part of me that's like, every time I have a bit of a thought or a theory, I try to kind of reconstruct it so it feels different. But if it feels connected to the other shows, like, I think that's also a very beautiful connection. A way to say goodbye to the age of portals, as I've been calling it. Right? Because there were a couple other shows with portals too, but yeah, the portal renaissance. So whenever I kind of go down the road of what I think is going to happen, I'm like, well, what's different than all of them? And here it is in the logo right here with the colors blending, is what if it is a blending of the world. Something I've talked about a lot in my videos is the introduction in episode 1 with Camila, with what little context we had at the time, saying that Luce needs to separate fantasy from reality. And then one of the things of the many things I really love about this show, a lot of the themes have been centering back on balancing fantasy and reality. I've talked about it a lot, where it's like, oh, like, to me, when I see Luce drawing glyphs, it makes me think of just art and drawing in general, and how, like, well, nice hobby. Yeah, well, this can also be a job. This can also be a career. And then metatextually, it is also an animated show. So it's like, look at these drawings move and talk and be a thing. Like, this is a job, right? And it makes me think of pursuing your interests and, the cultivation in things you enjoy recreationally into a career path. And and then also the reality kicking in of, no, you're not a chosen one. Luce showing up in or she finds like a traffic cone and a dirty bathrobe, and I'm gonna dress like a witch. And that's not how witches dress. Like, learning that there's also reality in the fantasy world, and that's what this kind of makes me think of, is blending the two worlds together. I don't think there's gonna be a permanent separation. That's just my theory. I don't know. I don't think there's going to be a permanent separation or pick one or the other. I think it's best of both worlds, TM. And this kind of my hand got really big there. This kind of solidifies that for me, especially seeing the colors blend like that. I think it is going to be about, as much as the bright colors are giving way to the darkness. And Angie King, I'm excited to see what he's going to do, but like, okay. So I'm just going to slowly keep going up. So anyway, I love that the logo has changed. It makes me think that we are going to have a blend of both our fantasy and our reality. Either one realm is going to adopt and coexist with the other, or portals and commuting Hootie hole theory. Please go check that out. What are the odds that I'm right? I gotta be like somewhat right. I've said a lot of things about Hootie in that video. Anyway, we'll get there. Easy now. But yeah, there's something too about like seeing, like when I look at this, like obviously this little bald spot right there, makes you think Boiling Isle sky. And then it like instantly becomes like the darkness, and you can see it kind of fade here as we'll start with King. We know from the teaser that there's some sort of visual of a transformation moment. Whether or not that's real or not, who's to say? The episode is called Watching and Dreaming, so there is always the chance of being trapped in a dream or a nightmare. I'm wavering between literally putting Luce through a trial or turmoil or a game by the collector in her sleep. Because if we're thinking about this in real time, something I noted in For the Future that still stands now: no one has slept since getting ready for the Halloween haunted hayride, and thanks to them, Luce most of all. So I'm wondering if that's going to play a small part there in whatever game or plan the collector has. No one's been sleeping in the last couple of days. It's just been go, 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 go. We didn't see them stop to make camp, take a nap at the Owl House, take a nap at New Hexside, forgive me. So I think dreaming could be literal. I also wonder if it's going to be the memories based off of what we see in the teaser and everyone having wardrobe changes. Watching and dreaming, hoping, fighting for a better future, too angsty. No, that works. I think that's what For the Future essentially is. Like, you're fighting for the future. We're not chewing gum for the future. Like, yeah, I don't think that's too angsty. What was I saying? Right. So there is always a chance when you watch the teaser, that like it could be part of the collector's game. It could be a vision, a dream, but seeing it in the poster, different color, mind you. He glows blue. That calamity Bill blue. Where I've been saying for a while, like, if I see something glow blue in the Owl House, I'm gonna scream, because that's the evil color. Something bad's happening. He glows blue in the teaser, but here his eyes are purple. So I think this kind of solidifies for me the idea that we're going to get Titan powers more from King. We allude to a growth spurt. He looks taller. It could just be the way that he's bending. His hair's also a little, chest hair, neck hair is kind of scruffier. That could just be time, right? Because I could also see a world where the collector makes sure he has a nice haircut, takes him to the stylist. But I wonder if it's more power, and I think it's real. Just by looking at that. I I'm worried because, like, again, grateful to have an ending. Grateful that I got to see a version of a finale, right? I worry how many times I hang on to a thread from a previous episode, especially doing a rewatch. I worry how many times I grasp onto a loose thread and then it's like, oh well, that had to get dropped. The Bat Queen whistle, so to speak. That's something where I'm like, it'd be cool to see that come back. I don't think we have time for the Bat Queen to come back, but if she did, she's screwed, because that would definitely be enough juice to help Belos get his electrolytes. Um, but I think it's really hard to say. I think the focus is going to be more on preventing Belos. I think he's going to be the ultimate villain, right? He has been throughout the whole series. I think the aggression is facing your own nightmare, because we see they've all been segmented in the teaser. I should have pulled that up too. I'm referencing it so much. I think all three of them it's going to be down to the three of them, the main trio. I think everyone else is going to be dolled, captured. Whether or not that would work on Camila would be interesting, though, or loose, because I don't think we've seen a human get dolled up, right? Because there's only 2, 3. Is he human? So I'm curious to see if it would be different for Camila. I know a lot of people were talking about in my comments for my video about it. They were talking about how Camila's just like barely there and it's scaring everyone. Valid. It's I don't think it's a sign of, like, I don't think she's gonna get like got or anything. I think Roundtable did a video about that. Of like, I know Disney doesn't have a good history with moms and their health, but I don't think Luce is going to lose another parent. But I do think it's going to be down to just the main trio. I think they're going to reunite, get pulled apart, and then individually they're the ones being toyed with, taunted the most, I guess, by the collector. And I think they'll have to face their fears, essentially, embrace the arcs, the journeys that they've all been on individually, and then unify together, Avengers assemble. But their efforts are going to be to take out Belos once they realize what's going on. Because that's something, because I've been rewatching it, and I just rewatched season 3. They know he's in the Boiling Isles. They don't know that there is any connection between Belos and the Collector. That hasn't been presented to them. We know this. We've seen Raine covered in boogers. We know that. But I don't think they do. I think, like, it's interesting. And I kind of like that focus shift to, like, completely focus on the Collector. You know, he's going to play a new game. He's being manipulated by Belos, but, like, all of our characters don't know that yet. So I think it's going to be a punishment. The confrontation with the Collector, I think, is going to be aggressive until they realize that, if that makes sense. Because I don't think they've accounted for Belos yet. So I'm wondering, what is it that could set King off? And it could be losing somebody or seemingly losing someone. I also think it's going to be whatever, because the drawing that Lilith shows when she says that Titan magic cancels out collector magic, it looks like his scream or his squeak, his squeal. It looks like his Titan scream. So there's already, in my mind, there's already a use there. So I'm wondering what the next phase would be, or what would be a point in furthering his power past the scream, if we've already seen that there's a utility in it, so to speak, a direct function to service the finale. And my first thought takes me to a reaction to Luce. I don't think she's gonna die. I think it's gonna be her memories. We've seen the brain photos that come out of your ears, and I hate it. It grosses me out so much. I am not a fan of watching that kind of stuff. I think Luce is going to have an opportunity to make a sacrifice, and I think it's going to be what sets bigger movement in motion, and I think it's going to be Luce forgetting. Because every time I think about it, I'm like, well, we've separated everyone so many times, right? We could do it again, and we probably will when they go through the nightmares, the dreams, those trials. But the poster here is what sells it for me the most, because something I've enjoyed. Didn't get to do a little video about it for the future because it got leaked. Something I've enjoyed about looking at the poster is seeing the little details, and just kind of like when you look back at the Thanks to Them poster, you can kind of see how everyone's focus has shifted, and you can see like Hunter staring in the direction of the Belos shadow. You see how like Luce is looking out of the corner of her eye, but she's still in the same direction as her mom. Like there's little things to kind of show you Flapjack is isolated. There's a placement there to kind of show you, it's a preamble for splitting up, for Flapjack, for Camila going with. There's a lot of little nuggets there in retrospect, so it's been kind of training me to take the posters seriously. Literally in the For the Future poster, Camila has Luce's back, and then we got that in like lovely dialogue. I'm good. That thinking about it is gonna hurt me. I'm not doing that today. Erasing Luce's memory sends completely the wrong message. I'm not saying permanently, but I'm saying I think that's what's gonna happen. Like I'm saying, I don't think it's gonna be a death fake out. I think we're gonna see more of the photos. And I think that's going to be the thing sacrificed. Yeah, they can always be either restored or maybe even going through the photos, because when we see them grab the Belos glyph photo so they can recreate it at the end of For the Future, there's a lot of... I wrote it down. There's a lot of key moments that are also taken out. And I'm trying to remember... I don't think taking the memory photo out of your brain makes you forget it, but damage could. I wrote it down in my bad handwriting. I Am Iron Man Luce. That's another big one. Where is it? Hooty eats Belos. Here we go. Because what's interesting is we see Gus in the teaser wearing his like teal Grom tux. One of the photos that's still on the I don't know what the proper term is, but like the development clothesline thing when you're developing photos back in the day. One of them is Grom. So I'm thinking it's gonna be Luce's memories, and I think that's going to be connected to this, or something that is going to be in jeopardy. Because one of the bigger points for King is not only his reconciliation with like, I want power, and then now that he's figured out that he's a Titan, what does he do now? And he goes on that lovely road trip with Steve, who I hope comes back. for the finale. Another big one is learning to let go. You can see throughout like episode season 1 and 2 that King, I don't leave me, I won't let you go back to the human realm. What's my life going to be like without you? I think either his nightmare is going to be everyone forgetting or him being alone again, or I think that's going to be something that's at risk. Because I think it's also just my brain not wanting to instantly go to the fake out death route, right? The hand goes limp and everyone goes Super Saiyan. We could. Maybe I just don't want to think about that. But the photos that keep coming back and the fact that they're memories and the fact that they're fragile, I think that's going to be, in my opinion, that would be an interesting, different next phase for what King has to deal with. Because it kind of parallels the fear of being alone or being abandoned is also being forgotten. But it's definitely going to be something. This is implying that like Luce is going to freaking make a conscious decision to sacrifice something. It's very jarring. She's the only one brightly colored. She's the only one smiling. There's something knowing in her expression, as opposed to a lot of the imagery we got, especially in other posters, of either fear or wonder. Right? Like when you look at especially the early Owl House things, like early Owl House promotion, like her eyes are always very wide and full of amazement and wonder. Like this is essentially the most calm and confident that we've seen Luce. So she's going to make a decision, and given what we've seen prior, how willing she is to put herself, her life on the line, or aspects of her life rather, giving up her ability to go home to see her mom, wanting to burden the shoulder the burden on her own, locking herself up in the conformatorium to get to Ida, even O Titan, where art thou? Yeah, even O Titan, where art thou, where she that moment where she's like about to break, where like if Luce was genuinely captured and separated from Ida at that moment, like that was her Joker origin story, where she's sitting in the back of the conformatorium wagon and she gets like uncharacteristically angry. I think again, I don't like admitting the sad versions. Like, never mind. Like, they're playing charades, and she's like, haha, we can't all go up at once. And they're like, we need to win. I think she's going to essentially be, how do I say it kindly, be inspired by Flapjack. It didn't help to change the verbiage. But there's something calm and confident. I'm hopeful that this is the ending. Because again, like she's lit differently. She's glowing. She almost kind of matches the logo and the Boiling Isles sky at the bottom. I hope that this is just the ending. But the talisman is like the glyph is also ripped. She's going to make a choice. And I think that's going to be more sacrifice than anything. And I think part of this is going to be Luce learning that last little piece of self-preservation, I think is the word I'm thinking of. Not self-preservation, self-value, self-worth. Because that's, to me anyway, that's been kind of an ongoing point, and it's been less aggressive than her literal life on the line, but like she's not going to go back to the Boiling Isles. She causes all this trouble. She's the reason all this happened, which no, it's Flora Desplora's fault actually. But like she blaming herself for Belos getting the light glyph and punishing herself by insisting that she won't go back to the Boiling Isles. That's not only cutting off a part of who she is and who she wants to be, that's cutting herself off from Amity, that's cutting herself off from Ida and King and Hooty, magic, everything. Like she insists on taking the responsibility, but not in the healthy, good way. So it's like her choices. I like to think that this would be one that reflects a good sacrifice, but I feel like she doesn't need to sacrifice anything, despite what she convinces herself. Yeah, Luce about to sacrifice herself for the millionth time. Exactly. I think that's part of her final arc. Is she's so quick to blame, judge, and punish herself. So I, to an extent, don't see a reality where she needs to do that. But I think she's going to be very willing to do it. And I don't know. It's a tough call from just a poster, but it puts her on a different threshold than Ida and King. I think she's going to try to separate from everyone else. Take me instead. It's my fault. That kind of a thing. But because she's smiling, like I like to think it's something happier or better. But then I see that the glyph is ripped. And just something to think about. You can use a leaf. You can use the snow. You can use so many things to make a glyph. But why rip it? It's my favorite thing about, one of my many favorite things, but one of my favorite things about animation is like, it gives me that license essentially to dig into every detail. You know, the sun didn't just happen to move that way and it impacted the lighting like you would get live action, right? Everything's a deliberate choice. And when I look at Luce, I'm getting a little bit of what I want, which is the I am Iron Man moment, essentially. Because we start season 1 with I'm the Good Witch Azura, and it's the book report. We start season 2 with I am the Good Witch Luce, warrior of peace or hunter of monsters. Now eat this sucker. I think it's just going to be I am Luce. I think she's going to transcend the literal visuals, which I love. I think she's going to transcend comparing herself to Luzura. Again, a way to come full circle from blaming herself while she's also working on embracing the weirdness. Is it ripped or just creased? That's pretty ripped to me. It's been working out. Let's, I can zoom. Meep. There we go. Yeah, that's boop, boop, boop. That is definitely a rip or a tear. And it's like, it gets into the glyph. And that's been an interesting point to look at too, because I love seeing everyone use glyphs, especially seeing Willow use the fire glyph in that little teaser half a second moment. It's not only it's the inverse of plant magic, but also when we're in Willow's mind, she's like the mind guardian version of Willow is like fueled by fire. She's losing a lot of memories, and the only emotion she says that she feels is anger, and that engulfs her in fire, and it's burning the forest in her mind. So while in For the Future, she learned to feel her feelings and let it out, I think this is that victory lap for that arc for Willow, is casting flamethrower, casting fireball. But I think glyphs are going to be a necessity. The light near looks like Willow, Gus, and I guess, yeah, Hunter, Ew. Willow. But then would that be Amity? Or this would be Amity because it's purple. Who would be? We need a blue boy for Gus.
I feel like Amity could be pink.
Gus dead, confirmed.
The purple leans more blue to me.
The purple leans more blue to you?
Yeah.
Then would the red be Amity to you? Red's barred. That's Raine.
That looks pink to me.
Ooh, hold on. Is it just those 4 colors? Yeah. I think. There's blue at the bottom. Gus is there.
But the series encapsulated. Gus is there.
Poor Gus. I'm still trying to figure out if I want to make a video pre-finale because I just don't want it to sound like I'm complaining because I'm grateful to get whatever episodes we're going to get while also just being bummed we'll never get the full story, or at least we're not going to get it anytime soon. I was really hoping that Gus, and they kind of do it with the witch trial crucible looking play in Thanks to Them. I really want Gus, who loves human stuff so much, to like read a book on human history and use the little mirror earring thing. I wanted him to use that to like see the disconnect between history and what we say is history, like the inconsistencies of the witch trials, right? I want to see him like see the truth of like the crimes of humanity in a sense, and like a whole episode where he's having this like kind of existential dread as he's like taking in all this information of the human world. I just wanted to find a way to make the mirror make sense, and I think at this point all that's left is either to give us Belos backstory, Collector backstory, or to help Luce. Because I think, or it could even be how it could be if they get captured by the Collector, it could be a way out of the nightmares. But turn on the light. I'm glad we at least got some stuff. I just feel like, especially Gus, but Gus and Willow were like the bystanders of the edit, right? I feel like we were able to get Willow at least in there. With, confronting Basha one more time and learning to stop bottling her emotions, and it's okay to be there for someone and also while you're going through something. I just feel like poor Gus, like they gave him like this really cool mystery item. He read part of Belos's mind, and now he's just hanging out. He didn't get a full conversation with Hunter about knowing he's a Grimwalker, but it's like implied for us, the audience. And I appreciate they're doing so much in not even 3 hours. Like they're doing so much. So again, it doesn't even feel like a criticism. It's at least you got something in there. Leave me wanting more. It's almost like a bunch of stuff, maybe 20, 30 episodes were cut for time. So it's weird because I'm like, this sounds like a criticism, but it's just a casualty of editing. I give Gus an arc, give him something. Yeah, I think he's going to still play a part in, I mean, everyone will. I hope he gets a time to shine more in the finale, because really, if you think about it, like obviously Luce and Camila are the center focus of Thanks to Them, but so is Hunter, and we get a little bit of everybody else. And then for the future, it's Luce and Camila again, but also King, while we get a little bit of prep for Ida, and we get a lot of Willow. So I'm like hoping through this sort of pseudo ABC story that Gus has a revelation, or at least gets what he wants. Because the last time he talked about his future, it was wanting to be ambassador between the human and demon realm. And I'm like, well, fantasy meets reality, he could get that. So at least give him his dream job, if nothing else. So are the orbs meant to represent the others? I like to think so. Sorry, we did get super off track. I like to think so. I think it's like, part of me thinks it's the other glyphs, but then I'm like, what's purple? Because we got light, plant, fire, eyes. eyes. No, I wouldn't go so far as to call him a background character, but yeah, he definitely he might have gotten Bat Queen whistled. I keep using the whistle as an example because I'm like, man, you can't show us the whistle like in season 1 and season 2 and then nothing, and it could still come back. Who knows? But it's like it was very apparent to me that it was meant to be something. It was meant to come into play later. Because at this point, I'm like, I don't even think there's room for everything we would typically like need, right? Because the portraits are amazing. I'm super bummed we're not going to get the full Philip, Caleb, Evelyn backstory. We still could. We have 55 minutes left, but I feel like it'll either be shortened or referenced or like a couple of bits and pieces, and then we can create the rest from the background portraits. And I while I love bringing that back for the collector, and it's really exciting to get to like take a look at those, and it's super interesting, I'm also like, there's a lot of these portraits are doing more work than they should be doing, which again is not their fault. And I think it's an amazing, very creative way to try to work around that. I just hope we get a little more of that, because my big question going into the finale, beyond just the how will it end, I still haven't figured out if the collector trying to make friends is what started the war between Titans, or if Titans found collectors and then the collector was told, go play with the babies, and then the other collectors went in, right? It could be a little bit of both. But it's the scribbling out of the should they interfere with our affairs, we'll scorch the sky and burn the air. We'll do things. We'll boil the isles. Whether he knows it or not, I wonder if the collector, like, they either interfered unknowingly or was like, oh boy, friends, and he accidentally like tripped a collector rule, and now they have to sit with the consequences. You know what I mean? Anyhoozle. I'm going so out. Like, again, this is why I can't make a video right now. I keep going in so many different directions because, again, I feel like I have 20 more episodes in a beach day's worth of thoughts for 55 minutes left. But trying to move on. I just don't like seeing him so upset, but also his mouth is open. I forgot to mention that. His mouth is open. King's. Whoop. Not only does it mirror Ida's, don't mess with Clawthorns, that only happens when he's using his Titan powers that we've seen. At least to my memory. I take note of these things and then kind of convince myself I'm wrong. But his mouth is also open, so he probably is also using a new Titan power. What could purple eyes do but shoot lasers? But I think that's also interesting. Like, how many times do we see King's mouth actually open?
He gonna bite one.
He's just eating a sandwich. And then we have Ida, who I've seen a lot of interesting theories with Ida. Initially I freaked out because I'm like, we can't see her arm. What's gonna happen there? You could see it, or at least you could see the cutoff point there. I saw that some people think that she's gonna get an abomination goop arm, and I'm like, that would be cool to like tell us where the dads have been, like Steve, Blight dad Alador, Steve, Alador, Gus's other dad, Papa, because she's like, Dad, where's Papa? Where's Zabity's dad? Where's Steve? I'm like, I know Steve's Matt Tholomuel's older brother, but I'm like, where are all the dads? He could be doing something there. It's hard to say because it's it'd be cool to like do something, but whenever I try to think of an idea of what to do about Ida's arm other than leave it be, it puts me kind of back in the you can't like curing the curse would defeat the metaphor, right? It kind of puts me in that headspace. And especially if we're showcasing Harpy Ida, to me it's that celebration of the epiphany from my favorite episode so far, knock knock knocking on Hootie's door, where Ida and the owl beast accepting each other, talking. We get that amazing tether, the red string sequence. It makes that moment kind of come full circle that now like this is her way of being able to fight without magic, or in this case also without an arm. They still could do something, and they're smarter than me, so I also just trust anytime I'm ever wrong. I'm like, nah, that's cooler. Like I've rarely hit a point with the Owl House where I'm like, why? But it's also weird because again, time restraints. Like it would be interesting to see someone propose like I can give you an abomination arm, and then seeing how Ida would respond to that. But maybe on the beach day episode in the sky. But I love that it's Harpy Ida. We already got the beautiful little cliff note when Raine sees Harpy Ida for the first time, and they have their like the blush moment, and despite all the chaos, the pink floaty things everywhere, very Lumity-esque. When they look at Harpy Ida and they're just in like awe, it harkens back to how they met. Raine has never judged or flinched at Ida transforming, because that's how she first met them, was by turning into a skeleton at the summer camp for children, standardized testing-ish thing. Whatever that was supposed to. The scholarship, blue ribbon, the state fair. The best in show. You know what I'm talking about. So there's already also an element of seeing other characters embracing Harpy Ida. So I want to see more of Harpy Ida, because that's something else I noticed kind of too is, obviously we get Harpy Ida in season 2, but we don't see a lot. And every time we do, we get to see like a little more action, a little more, like the aerial attacks that she uses against Kikimora and the guards in Eclipse Lake, but then also when she pseudo battles Luce, we see a little bit more of that. So I want to see more of what Harpy Ida can do. And again, the general consensus of acceptance and like, while yes, the romantic undertones, fingers crossed, it looks like I was flipping everyone off. The romantic undertones being one thing, but also there's something about being in awe of Harpy Ida from Raine's reaction and response. Like it's almost like they also love seeing Ida in this healthier place with the curse. So I would be amazed if it's like, oh, we're going to also get rid of or cure the owl curse. So Ida's like, it's a hard one to say, but I love that it's Harpy Ida, because it's a celebration of embracing this part of you. Something that season 2 was like really big about. Wish we got more grandpa time. But I do love feeling that energy again. It would be interesting. I know a lot of people pointed out in my For the Future video that like, oh, maybe the Owl Beast, not even maybe, it was a lot of caps lock. Maybe the Owl Beast recognized the collector or a collector, and that was the response. I took it as, and I still kind of see it as like more of an overwhelming stress. That's my son, that's my sister, that's my house, this is my world, like an overwhelming response that transformed her in post King's Tide, pre For the Future. But it would be interesting to finally connect what happened to the Owl Beast and that collector slash the other collector, question mark, exclamation point. Because like, yeah, they're taller, yeah, their cloak is different and stuff, but like, it's magic. Like, the collector could have also been taller or something. Like, it's so, like, my brain goes to like so many different places. Like, what if the kid Sona, the child, I don't know why I'm doing this, the child pat, the child collector, what if that's like a ruse? Like, anything could really be possible here. It'd be interesting, because that was something I was thinking for a little while, was what if the collector is pretending to be inferior to Belos and then keeps that going with King. It'd be cool, but I think in a world where we're going to focus on Belos, it'd be a hat on a hat, but that's always a possibility. But I'd love to see the Owl Beast respond more to the collector, or kind of piece that together. Because if we're going to have this, like Luce is dressed like Belos, King is separated from everybody, Ida's in the Conformatorium in the teaser, those little fractions of a frame. It'd be interesting if we have the time to see the Owl Beast's fears, or maybe they do coincide. The net that captured the Owl Beast, the bars of the Conformatorium. I don't know. It's like, is this a whistle? Is this the Bat Queen whistle, or is this a thing? But either way, I love seeing the payoff of the curse begetting Harpy Ida, right? And again, the fact that we have 2 different responses in 3 different directions, I think it is going to be individual and then coming together right now over me. And then we have this. This is why I wanted to go bottom up. I didn't think this was going to take an hour, so I apologize. And then we have this. So, first things first, that looks like, I think it looks like the Island Titan, but I don't think, is the Island Titan's horns? I don't think the Island Titan, I don't think the Island Titan's horns look like that. Boiling Izzles image. No, they're pretty complete. It's the angle.
Bill live in the day must be Hootie happenings.
Mean, rude, and yeah, we were in a very intense Scary Store morning over the weekend, and we're going to be in another one in a couple of days. So I'm like, I don't think I'm going to be able to get a lot of filming and editing done before the weekend. So I retract that thought instantly. It's the angle. I can show it to the camera. It's the angle. Boop. Boop, boop. When you look at the horns, I thought for a minute one was broken or shorter than the other, but that's just physics and geometry. Things I did not do well in. I was more of a read and complain about it kind of boy in school. So that I will just put the thought there. It is the last thought that I have on this concept that could be the in-between, the limbo lad. When Luce is in the in-between at the very beginning of For the Future and sees somebody. Shout out to Elijah. I'm still so mad. She sent me that, and I was like, fuck. Um, Elijah was the one who pointed out to me. So shout out to Not So Average Fangirl. And also Morgan Terry, because they believe in the Hootie hole theory, which makes them right by believing in me. Uh, it looks like a Titan or someone reminiscently dressing of a Titan, because it could be a Titan trapper. I think that's the island waking up. I couldn't tell you if it's Belos or not because of the eye. I think that's the portal eye, but also who knows? We haven't seen a Titan fully grown. It could be what a Titan looks like. It looks a lot like the portal eye, which makes me think of Titan blood to make the portal happen. So it could just be straight up a Titan's eyeball. But I doubt it because it's chipped, but magic. But I think Belos is going to, if not like possess the island, I think Belos is going to have an impact on it because of the heart in the throne. Again, something that could be a Bat Queen whistle, or could have been like the most important thing that we never got to talk about after a certain point. But in Belos's throne, there's the beating heart of presumably the Titan behind him, and it was connected to him initially. When he's panicking and transforming, and then he drinks the Pausman Mountain Dew eye droplets. It was seemingly connected to him. And there's like tubes and stuff sticking out of it, so it could still be a part of it. I also have a weird theory that the Titan is still sentient, because again, Belos says it was like the Titan was stopping me from getting the glyphs, and like Luce was being helped getting the glyphs, or like nudged in the right direction, because she found the four so fast and he never found light. I wonder if there's still sentience there, so it could be Belos waking it up. It could also be the Titan getting up and going, what the hell is going on, and fixing everything. And yet, I can't help but always stare at the boy. I can try to zoom in more. I can't even stress enough how flat looking the end is here. Like it's Hootie's face. It's big, it's never ending, and it's sticking out of the Titan. It looks like it's coming out of the Titan's other eye. I think it's Hootie. I think I might be right. I like having fun. I like plugging my stuff in a really bad way because it compensates for how awkward I feel when I'm like, spend money on my merch, imposter syndrome things. I like deflecting into comedy by going way too hard because I think it's fun. This is me just being genuine right now. I was at like a 1%, haha, it'd be kind of neat if the Hootie hole theory ended up being true. Now I'm like moving to like 75%. Check out the video if you haven't. I believe it's still linked in my description. It's in my Owl House playlist for sure. You can get I Believe in the Hootie Hole Theory merch, thethirdbill.com. If it comes true, I'm going to need to fundraise money to get the tattoo, but I will do it. Plug. I think that's Hootie. What is this if not the Owl House squad?
I feel like you can see his beak.
Really?
And like some ruffles.
Oh my god, do I have to zoom back in? This PowerPoint presentation is going horribly.
Like when he hisses and he gets those ruffled feathers on top, it looks like that if you really look up close.
What?
It's like a side profile. It kind of looks like that. Like he's hissing.
What? Sorry, it's not magnifying well enough for me on my computer, so I'm gonna... What do you see the beak?
Kind of.
Maybe. Okay, yeah, maybe. But like, what else could that be? And there's only one. It's not... It could be Belos tendrils. All right? It could be Belos tendrils. When he goes... Spooky boy. What is it? He does it to intimidate Hunter, and like that the scene that bonded me to him way too fast, to where I'm like, nothing bad can happen to this boy. Right? And then like the Collector does it too, when it's like, you just like to break, that was a great impression. You just like to break the Grimwalkers. Blah, 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 blah. Like that part. Belos tendrils don't look like that. Thank you. You're right. I need to...
Don't want to own up to your theory being actually canon.
Is it real though? Like it's not like the video's been on trending. It's not like... There's an inside joke between Alana and I when we talk about my Owl House content, that once the show is done, it'll be revealed that Dana Terrace is a huge fan. and I almost just like made that joke with no context. I don't think that's gonna happen. I'm just like, can you imagine the finale drops and then just Dana Terrace now follows you on social media, and like, here was the one person who got Hootie right. And like, ugh. I'd pee myself. What did I say? Season 3, episode 3. Clearly you're a big thethirdbill stan. You're sending me a message. What did Dana mean by this? Yeah. I think it's Hootie, because also we've made it a really strong point, even in the teaser when we see the family photo that Luce is holding up, right? It's, yes, there's pictures of just the three of them, but lately all the photos we've been getting, because like the Grom one, Hootie wasn't there. In the Grom one, Hootie wasn't there, but the Sears photo with the matching sweaters and Hootie in the background, it's this. Hootie's in the background of the photo. Oh no, my framing. Don't look at me. But like,
you're totally gonna pee yourself.
Yes. If I have any liquid left in my brain from crying my fucking eyes out and screaming, yes.
Okay, but hear me out. What if the Collector's possessing Luce in this picture? Because look at the weird plasticky...
Eyes aren't blue.
I guess that's true, but the smile is so eerie.
Yeah, but like, Raine's leaking goop all the way down to their earring, which they haven't changed since Ida's magic touched it. Just saying, it turned, like, it was originally like a brownish brassy looking color, and then Ida's magic touched it and it turned like grayish black because the magic sucks all the color out of everything, and they're still wearing it, and now it's covered in boogers, and I'm mad. Every time I get mad that Raine is covered in boogers, I remember that this is a great opportunity for Avi Roque for the voice actor to freaking bring it home, because their performance as Belos Scary Raine is so good that I'm like, you know what? I'll make peace for it. I'm so pissed that they're covered in boogers. I want more music being magic.
The title of the stream should have been Hootie Hole Believers Unite.
Hootie Hole Believers Unite in my freaking merch store. You get a free cameo when you buy merch. This all started as a dumb joke, but I believe it. Hootie Hole Theory just was funny. And then when I made the video, I'm like, I think I'm onto something. And now I'm like, nah, it's a prophecy.
Too close to the sun.
They're just too afraid to acknowledge me. Disney fears me. I think I said that when we were playing the Owl House Witch's Apprentice game on my gaming channel, where I'm like, it's my fault that it got canceled. Because like, well, if this idiot figured it all out, we might as well shorten it. What else could that be? I'm open to suggestions. What else could that be? That is a bird tube. Like, I think Hootie is going to be what stops Belos from connecting to the Titan. Or Hootie's going to be impacted by it. Or Hootie has to fight the Titan. Titan fight.
The Hootie holers.
The Hootie holers. Can't breathe. Don't look at me ever again.
Holists. Oh, good.
Hootie Holer, I hardly. Is the name too dirty and that's why no one can acknowledge it? Except Amelia Lawrence. Not the flex, but Amelia Lawrence is a real one.
No, I think it's not acknowledged by everybody because they can't give away
Yeah,
the
I think I just flew so close to the sun that they're like, if we make eye contact with this guy, they'll know. And then they saw nobody watch the video and went, oh, okay. We're good. It's String being the sequel. String Bean's mama. It's Camila's palisman, the snake. Because I do, and it could still be the Hootie Hole theory, right? I do also have my Fern Gully Hootie Hole. Fern Hootie. Hoot Gully. For those of you who don't know, Fern Gully is a animated program. It's a movie starring Robin Williams and Tim Curry that was made in like the early 90s to help save the rainforest, about how humans are cutting down the rainforest, and Tim Curry is the villain and he's like a cloud of pollution, and Rob Williams is a bat that was being experimented on. He raps about it. It's great. It's a classic. There is a scene where the fairy Krista talks to the human Zach about why he can't carve their names into a tree. And she puts his hand to it and says, "Can't you feel its pain?" And he goes, "It's pain?" Because humans don't know anything about the magic of the rainforest. But with Evelyn and Caleb. Because if two humans were stuck in the Boiling Isles, especially in the Vivitch times, back in the old mediocre horror metaphor era, they would be able to build the houses themselves. It's that era, and that's era appropriate. I think, if not both brothers, Caleb ignorantly made the owl house out of palistrom wood. And knowingly or unknowingly carved an owl into it. And there must have been some magic in that old owl house they found. I think it could still connect to, because the trees take roots into the ground. The ground is Titan. Titan blood makes the world go around, makes the trees grow. Also, running out of Titan blood could be another reason why, on top of over-harvesting, that could be also why we're not getting any more palistrom trees unless Ida's dad plants them. Also making the Titan Clawthorn theory that I had kind of come full circle. King plus Clawthorns equal more palisman trees. But I think the owl house was made by, if not both brothers, one brother, and I think they just picked trees, and I think they're palisman trees. I think the owl house is technically a palisman. And Hootie, by being an extension, is a failed palisman. And also a portal to the human world. Wait, that's so smart. Why are you so... I say so many smart things in between my silly things. I know it's hard to know when to take me seriously or not, but I say smart things sometimes. Sometimes I'm so right, and everyone's like, so true, King. And it's great. And other times everyone yells at me. But it's true. Like that is another. I think it would still connect to the Hootie hole theory, but that's my backup Hootie theory that I've been having lately, is that the owl house is made out of palstrom wood. It makes sense, though, if they just carved an owl face into the door, but the door was made out of palstrom wood. Exactly. There must have been some magic in that old silk hat they found. Yes. And then Hootie went, happy birthday. No, I know. I'm joking. No, see, no one knows when to take me seriously. No, I know. They can't kill Hootie. Here's the thing. Yes and no. They can. They might. Because of all the characters, I think Hootie is the one that would make the most sense if he came back. Again, if the owl house is made out of palstrom wood, or also just the magic of magic, you can get away with it because it's magic. Hootie seemingly dying and being reborn, rebuilt, reimagined into the new portal door. It could even be connected to Titan magic. I think if they were to do that, I think he would come back. The only thing that makes me super scared is Dana's subtextual message to me that I was right. No, when Dana said at New York Comic Con, where Morgan Terry went, shout out to Morgan Terry being so freaking on top of it. When Dana said there was one person that was right about Hootie, Dana Terrace also mentioned that we'll get a hint to Hootie's origin story in the finale. I like to think it'll just be some cute thing in the background and not, I don't know, a memoriam moment. But no, I think if they were to do that, I think he would come back. I can't imagine it being Hootie, but I also can. I think it's 50-50. However, I think if he were to die, he'd come back in some fashion. Hootie is the one connected to every character we know. He was there at the beginning. Everyone, yep, it would be devastating. And you know the Owl House has never once made me emotionally devastated. So it would be a first time. First time for everything. Yep. But I think that's him. Like what? A snake, tendril, weird, unknown man. My dad calls it a floopy doop, where something just kind of shows up out of nowhere and makes everything make sense at the last minute. I almost just said it without context. Plot device, essentially, is what my dad calls that, a floopy doop. But I pending some sort of new thing, I can't imagine that being anything but Hootie. And he's connected to the Titan, because to quote the scripture of the Hootie hole theory, he is a type of worm. And I think it's like it could be worm with a Y as in like wormhole, but I think it's more also like a tapeworm, like I talked about, like a parasite. Because again, like it's the fact like everyone's annoyed by him and like that whole bit and everything early on, and how like intrusive he is as just like, you know, whether it's Lilith or, you know, pushing his face against Luz's face, Amity's face, throwing riddles at everybody. What's the password? An invasive or intrusive species like a parasite, like a tapeworm. Go watch the Hootie hole theory. Bill Dana's telling you you're right. Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I know.
What if you just severed Hootie because he is a worm who just grows back?
I don't even want to think of that. I don't know what I would do. Okay, so a lot of people were like, not a lot, but like a couple people in the comments were mad in my For the Future video that I was like bullying the collector. And I'm like, first off, no, the collector's not real. Like, I don't treat real people how I treat fictitious ones on my TV. But also, I'm like, he attacked Hootie. Like, are you new? Like, that's my boy. That's my Hootsona. Like, he's everything to me. And they just zapped him. Also, yeah, the foreshadowing of Oh, to Die in Your Arms Tonight, Lulu, from season 2. He's literally intrusive on the Titan's eye. Yeah, like he needs to be tethered to the ground. The ground is the Titan. Knowingly or unknowingly, he's been absorbing Titan blood. He's a part of all of that. The ecosystem. Wait, so that would mean that King is friends with a parasite in his dad's body. King lives on his dad. King dug a hole into his dad, pretending to be a puppy. He lives in you. Yes, exactly. Thank you. Thanks for that. Love that song. Yeah. Friggin' King's best friend / big sister draws on his dad. If we go down that road, we're screwed forever. Right now, King's older sister is on like the spinal cord or a brain cell of his dad. Also, Hootie is a bug type demon, right? Worms are bugs. I don't think worms are bugs, and Hootie says he's a type of worm. I don't think he says he's bug, but maybe he did say worm demons are like bug demons. I just remember that as a type of worm myself. King lives on his dad, and I think about that every day. Yep. It's the dad's watching me in the scary clouds, but grosser and a little better. Thanks for putting the Lion King in my head. That's all I can think of now. Disney in the 90s. Your dad's watching you from the clouds. Disney in the 2020s. Your dad is the ground. Yeah. That is literally every time you've littered when you eat snacks, you are throwing garbage on your dad. Don't litter, kids. Worms are a type of bug. Are they? Does that count? Is this like a technicality if you look into like the genome species? Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally of science.
Worms are not insects. They do not have an exoskeleton, and there are many segments.
Boom. I was going to say, no, they can grow back. Worms are not bugs. Google that shit.
They're annelids.
Annelids?
Yeah.
I loved that show as a kid. Oh, you went for something gross.
No, it's still true, though.
The eye still throws me off. Going back to the poster. Also, the hell is that? Because that's the only thing that's stopping this from being Hootie is whatever this curvature thing is. I think it's a beard, but it looks like if you were to think that I'll zoom in on the left there. Oh, hello? No, let me be a cursor. Thank you. Goddamn technology. This right here could also be the beard. I think this is the Limbo Boy. If it's not the island itself. But again, if it's the Limbo Boy, because beard, and Limbo Boy has a beard. Can we think of something better than Limbo Boy, please, chat? The ghost. The ghost of Titan's past. Pretty sure it's canonically Limbo Boy. Yeah, thank you. I know. Dana, Terrace, and I are best friends, obviously. Guys, I am Dana Terrace. 95% sure it's the limbo guy. Yeah, me too. It could double up, but yeah, I think when you look at the beard more, which again, then why is the Hootie thing attached to it? Oh, portals. Hootie hole theory. Daryl. I guess we don't know what a Titan name would be, because that's been an ongoing bit in the Owl House. Almighty Bill. Reference to me. Everyone's best friend. He's so smart. Blue on his head, covering his pale patterned baldness. It me. If you are Data, can you pay my therapy bills? I'll jump on that meme grenade for Data Terrace. The in-betweener, that's pretty good. In-betweener, hardly. Biggest plot twist, Bill is Dana. But yeah, I think that's the beard. I'm more inclined to think that that's the in-between boy the more I look at it. It could just also be both. Onions have layers, Titans have layers. You get it. They both have layers. What if Hootie is possessing him somehow? See, that's close to a thought that I've had that, like, I feel silly saying it, but, like, we've messed with time travel already. I think Hootie knows everything. There is no beginning, there is no end, there is only Hootie. Dana Terrace quote. My quote. Dana Terrace quote. I don't know, it's like season 1 too, so it's like, again, is this quote in and of itself a bat whistle? Bigger plot twist, Bill is Limbo Boy. Yep. I'll take that. Bill's been trying to tell everyone how magic really works. Yeah, I'll take that. I think it's Limbo Boy because of the beard, but it could also be Belos grossness coming out of every angle. I think that would be the reality that would actually make me the least happy, is if this is only Belos stuff, nothing to do with Hootie. That's just a gross piece of Belos. I think that would make me need to go back in time and punch every angry dude in the 1600s in the face. So if your history book changes all of a sudden, and it's not because they're removing words, it's because I figured out how to do that. But I think that's Limbo Boy, or the in-betweener. Is the in-between boy the ghost of the Titan that they're living on? It could be. Someone said, what if it's connected to Hootie somehow? And I think it's an unintentional addendum to the Hootie hole theory that if Hootie is connected to portals, what if he does know more and sees more than we think? Because there's been a lot of times where it could just fit in the context of the scene. Hootie, in O Titan, Where Art Thou? No, the one before it. Friggin' Edge of the World. Right? Edge of the World. When they go and find the Titan trappers, when Ida's trying to figure out what to do, and Hootie's like, is anyone else here that, like, marching in the background? Like, it could be an indicator that, like, he knows someone's coming and is knowingly or unknowingly getting Ida to hurry up and make a decision. But there's also, when you watch Hootie interact with Lilith in season 1 and early season 2, it fits his character and it fits the comedy. But I'd love for there to be a deep, lore-drenched reason why he's so familiar with Lilith and has been calling her his best friend before they ever exchange dialogue on screen. Calls her Lulu seemingly out of nowhere. Again, it fits for Hootie, but what if? What do I think will happen with Raine? I can't believe in a world where something bad happens to Raine. If the world were kinder and more accepting, I'd be like 70% convinced that, like, Raine is going to die or hold Ida as she dies. but we don't have enough they thems in media. I also think while the boogers on Raine are gross, I think that kind of saves them, because like that's what like 60% of their screen time is brainwashed or seemingly brainwashed. It'd be pretty anticlimactic. I won't rule it out. I think Raine, anything like permanent and bad happening to Raine, I don't think can happen. That's just me though. Because again, it's like, what do you do? Do you treat this character like you would any other character and ignore how? Because like that's like a whole other realm of critical thinking here, right? This is a special thing because it's not utilized enough to have a character be non-binary. So do you hold them preciously because this is such an unheard of thing, or do you treat the character like you would if the character was any other pronouns, backstory, what have you? I could see the respect from either end, but I don't think there's any point in killing Raine. I think the closest we're going to get is something's going to happen to Raine's magic. Because it's ironically, I didn't connect it to whistling because I've only seen that happen in cartoons. I've never seen someone actually do the pinchy like that stuff, but Raine does try to whistle at like whistle spells at Belos, and you can see their violin is in the background of the teaser very briefly, I think. The closest thing for me, and it's not even something that's been confirmed, but their violin has like a little foxy boy little head thing at the end, and I always took that as their palisman, as their instrument. And I'm like, if that's the case and Belos figures that out, he's gonna have some fruit snacks. And we don't have any connection to that palisman because we haven't seen it. So it'd be upsetting just on paper, a character that we've grown a connection to suffering a loss. But wouldn't that also lead to a lovely moment of Raine and Ida carving a new palisman together, or a palisman adoption day with Raine there? So I think there is something there that could go wrong. I don't think it's going to be something as permanent as death. But again, I can also see the respect being for, we need more characters like Raine. We need more representation across the board. But it isn't. I'm not an expert on anything. I'm pretty sure Raine is the first they them character to actually like use those pronouns on Disney Channel, right? Or something. But I also could see a world where that article was tweeted and someone was like, what about the Pilly Willy from Squiggle Bob from the 2014 that nobody watched and was canceled after 3 episodes? Like, I could see that too. On Disney, yes. Okay. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, no, we need to fact check ourselves. Point is, even if there has been one before, there's not been a lot. So I can see the respect being there of not wanting to kill the first or one of few, but also the respect of let's not treat this character like they're made of glass. Does that make sense? I can see either angle of respect, and again, being done in a smarter, more intelligent, fleshed out way than anything I could pitch. But I wonder if Raine is going to be a source of energy for Belos. That's what it looks like in the teaser. Because I'm like, what could you do? But I think Belos is separating from Raine to ditch them as a vessel for whatever his new one is. Potentially the Titan's Heart, or Hunter even, maybe. Because it's not, that can't be a nightmare, because no one knows about that between the three. Well, really nobody knows, right? Only the Collector knows. And even then, the Collector doesn't know, but the Collector has interacted with Raine with that amazing line that you would feed to something that's mentally, emotionally in a childlike stage still of like, you take such good care of us that like I came to life. Like I came to life on a child's wish. Like that. I love that scene. The collector's the only one that's seen them like that. So it wouldn't be part of anyone's nightmare. Do you think Belos will try to possess anyone else? Yeah, I think so. I think there's always a reality of possessed Raine taking on Ida. That could be what snaps them out of it, so to speak. Because we do get that set up a lot. Ida and Raine have almost fought several times. There's the rewatching Follies of the Coven's Day Parade. Everything was in front of you the whole time. They recognized the invisibility glyph, and that should have been the indicator that Raine was not brainwashed at the time. Fuck me. It's beautiful to look back on that moment with the when Rainstorm does their Rainstorm thing. Raine, they pretend to fight Ida, and she's like, I'm not gonna fight you, Raine. And then Raine's like, take this glyph and go. And again, I kick myself looking at that scene, and I'm like, how did I not? That's just a piece of paper to you if you don't know what the hell a glyph is. But I guess I also just figured they're smart. Anyway, there's that scene. There's Puppet Raine. There's Covens versus Wilds. There's been a lot of almost fights between Ida and Raine. So it could be layering and leveling up to a, however brief or legitimate, altercation between the two. And that is the highest stakes. Referring again back to my own videos, please watch them all the time. Always like and subscribe, donate if you can, buy merch at thethirdbill.com. Plug. Raine, the Puppet Raine tries to, in a sense, tries to fight Ida, but the biggest thing that Puppet Raine or Belos Raine exists to do is raise the stakes. I said it in my For the Future video. Odalia being possessed, that fake out was perfect. They know we know. They know that we want that. What raises the stakes more? Somebody we don't want possessed. Somebody that we don't want being at odds with our characters. Someone who we also know wouldn't want to be at odds with our characters. As great as it would be to see the duel of the moms that I still want really, really bad between Camila, Ida, and Odalia, making Belos pick Raine ups the stakes significantly, because now you don't want anyone to be punched until the boogers are out. And it changes the stakes there. So it has to lead to something. I'm hoping it leads to the power of love. I'll take that. I'll take that cliche at this point. Something else that's been foreshadowed when Luce and King are writing a book together. There's a little bit of cliche here and there. That word is thrown out a lot, and the power of love and everything. And I'm like, the power of love might come into play in the finale. But it's one of the pitches Luce has, that the tears of the princess wakes the sleeping prince or something. And that's literally happened several times. The biggest one being Hooty. Lilith's tears landed on Hooty, and he talked to her briefly. But also Flapjack's tears healing Hunter. I think there's potentially a lot of clues in the best-selling author episode. Luzura dies? Yeah. That episode. I'd welcome an element. I'd welcome something kind of cliche. Despite how much reality we get in our fantasy throughout the Owl House, I would openly welcome that, especially if it gives me something that I want. Like this is why I like doing big season videos and just no context, letting it rest, is because when I get to this point, I'm angry all the time. And if something bad happens to these characters, I'm going to lose my mind. I don't like that feeling. Anyway. But yeah, I think as far as Raine goes, there needs to be a point to possessed Raine. Um, and I think that would do it, is raising the stakes for an altercation, and it would have to be with Ida. Because I don't even think King has spoke to Raine. He's spoken about them, but I don't think King ever shared dialogue with Raine. And Luce has 2 scenes. The first one is the you must be Luce the human, literally, which I love that kind of feeling of like, yeah, let's get the excitement. Let's get those feelings into that exchange. But then the second one is, protect my witch mom, please. And they go, okay. And they do. The Owl House has earned its cliche moments, TBH. It has done so much to subvert those tropes and push boundaries. Yep. No, that's what I'm saying. And also, like, I don't think there's anything wrong with using cliches. The fact that it's being so obviously segmented between the main trio, I would hope for at least one, but not all 3. But I also think like you were kind of pointing out, Little Miss Bookworm. Yes, that's what that says. Sorry, this monitor is like bad and small. I think earned, yes, and also I think we've set up a story where if something cliche happens, it's still interesting and different to see how everyone else would respond to it. Does that make sense? Like if Luce is asleep and Amity has to wake her up with True Love's kiss, which would be a pitch I'd have if they hadn't already smooched, because it'd be funny. I think the best would be somebody slapping Luce awake, like when Luce first meets Hunter, and that's a parallel of the test next time on, not pilot thing. Remember that was floating around and everyone was like, this is the pilot. And it's like, it's an animation test. And I'm like, what do all these words mean? I'd love to see that. But if we were to say, get Amity waking up Luce with True Love's kiss, a la like a traditional fairy tale thing with its own little twist. It already has that little twist, but also I think it would be fun to then see not only the moment, but then the funny response of like, oh my gosh, it's just like the Lazura books, or you know what I mean? Like just a little, there'd be like a fun exchange there, even if that scene has happened so many times, right? Again, dynamic aside. I would like a good character death. I need something heartbreaking. Welcome to that dark little part of my brain. I feel that way sometimes too. If the show ran its full run, I'd be 100% on board with that concept. But I'm like, would that just be salt in the wound? But also I trust them that it would be impactful, important, and necessary. I think I'm going to revert it back to the Camila of it all, where I think if someone were to die, it can't be someone connected to Luce. Like you can't. That's not how life works, though. Fantasy and reality. Maybe I need to rewatch The Owl House again. But like, you can't have her lose more, in my opinion. But that's just it. There is something also powerful in taking a character at a low and sinking that low past what you, the audience, or the character could fathom. But I can't imagine it going that way. I think if there is going to be a character death, I think it would be more seeing a supporting character lose something, and now Luce being in the headspace that she's in now, or Camila being in the headspace that she's in now, being able to be there to support that person while they deal with something similar to what they've dealt with. Does that make sense? I think the arc would be more utilized there for now. Now that you've worked on yourself, you can also reach out, since someone's been reaching out to you and you've been touching base with yourself. Being in a healthier spot gives you the the maneuverability should someone want it for you to reach out. But I think Camila, I they're gonna have to give me a reason why Camila should be in the human realm other than real estate. Like, you invested in this house for very real and scary, upsetting reasons. I'm at a point right now. Someone asked about Camila earlier. I'm at a point where I'm like, what's the point in any of you guys being in the human world except like Hunter? Maybe like Hunter and V and Gus, if he's going to be an ambassador. The only thing I really am like sold on for Camila is, I want Camila to talk to Principal Bump. I won't use the S word. I don't need it to be romantic. If that happened, I wouldn't be mad. I'd think that'd be really funny. But I've said it in a couple of videos. I want Bump to talk to Camila about how loose being different isn't a bad thing. And she, by being herself and existing and not adhering to the status quo, strengthened and broadened the magic school system at Hexside. I want that. Really, really, really bad. I hope what I'm saying makes sense. There's a lot you could take thematically and allegorically from Luce's stories from school, especially in the human world, and then seeing it almost happen again in Hexside with Bump, but then seeing how like more fulfilling and enriching and interesting leading that school is with multi-tracks and doing what she wants and, you know, rethinking the Coven system from a completely different angle than I think Belos is bad. I think it just serves so much. And then to see Camila's exchange with the human world principal, and also her comment about the statue, I just want Camila to meet Bump. That would make me weep. I need more V content. I feel like V got whistled, but it fits the character, so I like it. Because like unless V pops up after the portal opens, like the portal would have to reopen, or they have to. I can't imagine V going back to the Boiling Isles. I don't know. I wouldn't be mad. I'd sit there and just like everything else, I'm like, can I get the episode that will never exist? The beach day of V on the beach going, I think I'm ready to go back to the Boiling Isles and come to terms with what happened and see if there's other basilisks still out there. What a neat episode story that would be. I think that's going to be a casualty of the shortening. Don't make that face. Alana doesn't like V. It's so flummoxing. Alana does not like V. But I'd love to see Camila and Viney have a magic animal vet. Cause Viney's the detention girl who wants to do healing and beast keeping, and I'm like, vet, done. Yeah, right now V is not in the right mindset to do that. Yeah, it would have to be like an epilogue-y kind of thing.
If anyone were to make her go, not make her, but entice her to go back, I feel like it would be Camila.
Yeah. But also I could see V taking over the human house.
Yeah, that's so true.
Or Camila's house. Because I think what I call the human house, the second owl house, the shack that they all lived in and painted Hootie on the door. I think that's going to be I think it's gonna be Luce's house personally, or a station of sorts, a place with a portal to take you back to the Boiling Isles. But that also aligns with my epilogue wishing, which I never do. I never want an epilogue. I really want an epilogue where Luce and Amity either have a child named Lazura or a pet named Lazura or some bullshit. A literal or Hunter and Willow have an actual child that's technically half witch. Like, it's just thematically there and it doesn't change anything to their abilities or anything. I don't know. Like, I'm like, what if we cut to like 20 years from now and they're like making a quilt? Like, I have the dumbest epilogue thoughts. But like, I never want that. Like, but at the same time though, without spoiling which show, when another show did that recently and did a little future jump epilogue thing, I'm like, more, please. Like, don't give me 2 minutes with this. Give me like an episode. There's too much stuff. Oh, that was another weird one I had. If speaking of Hunter and Willow, if Hunter fused with Flapjack to get that power, right? Flapjack is a part of Hunter. Does that mean that all the other Grimwalkers are technically Palistrom wood? Can we make Palisman out of the Grimwalkers? A pseudo reincarnation, if you will. Think less recycling, more reincarnation. Would that be too gross and dark? Maybe. Fuck, I love looking at this thing. That's still Hooty. I'm still trying to see if there's anything else, because I love that it's like just so dark, but I still don't know how I feel about Luce at the center. String Bean's there, so that's nice. So I don't know. That's the other weird thing about the pacing that they're still pulling off, but like it limits a lot of my theories. Is like, you can't show us String Bean at the end of For the Future and then something happens to String Bean in the finale. Like, I feel like if there was a time for something to happen to String Bean, it would be the egg. I feel like that's too dark though. Cause yeah, I think especially when it's just the three of them and then Limbo Boy / Possessed Titan Island, Possessed Boiling Isles Titan. Are you talking about carving birds out of flesh? No, technically not, because Grimwalkers are made from Palistrom wood, and Flapjack was able to fuse, enter, align with Hunter to heal him. Like, if they're made out of Palistrom wood, could you make Palisman out of Grimwalkers? That way they could, in a sense, live on. Or even kind of in a metaphorical way where I only know this because of learning about Mount St. Helens in 4th grade. Shout out to the Northwest. When a volcano erupts and like everything like destroys all the trees, it's still the seeds still get planted underneath the ash, and the ash does something to help them grow, and the forest can come back. I don't know why I really liked reading about that as a kid. Something like that. A rebirth, if you will. But no, not literally out of flesh. Someone's sitting there with Hunter's dead body and carving. Well, they're just bones now.
They can remake Flapjack.
Yeah. Jack Flap. That's another one. It's the same thing with so many other things where I'm like, the metaphor needs to be left alone. Would Hunter get a new Palisman?
No, because I think Flapjack's gonna come back.
You think Flapjack's gonna come back?
I think they're gonna find a way to resurrect Flapjack.
I don't know. it would have to be at the very end. I'm like,
Yeah.
that's the thing. Flapjack needed to happen for a lot of reasons, but also fantasy and reality, death needs to be permanent.
Well, it'll be like a.
Unless it's Hootie. I don't know. It's so hard because, again, ages 6 to 11. Like, I'm also like, consider the platform that we're on.
Belos is defeated. Would that return any of the magic that he consumed? Like,
But he didn't consume Flapjack.
Right, but still.
Would that return the talisman inside of him?
Yeah.
Maybe.
That's
I don't know if I want to see, like, little birds and monkeys and animals that have memories of being friggin' Cronenberg Bellosed.
It's like Sonic when you release the animals at the end of the level.
Yeah, it's like a Chow Garden in Sonic. Yeah, you're right. Also, Hunter is made from Palistrom. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, if he's made from Palistrom would the remains of Grimwalkers be Palisman? Could be, potentially. But also, no. I think something changed when Hunter's eyes changed. Because that's a big part of being a Grimwalker is the red eyes. And he is no longer a red eyes black dragon. I was rewatching Yu-Gi-Oh! The other day. Red eyes, black dragon. I love that shit so much. Stop. You guys are being mean. Hunter just died. Cow a bummer. Time to pull out the handsaw. Mean. Mean. No, I don't think Hunter is technically made of Palistrom wood or a Grimwalker anymore. There must have been some magic in that old silk hat they found. I think when his eyes changed, that implied more than just thematic changing. Because I think there's going to be I would love, rather, if there's going to be a moment where Belos tries to take Hunter and can't. Power the Keyblade. Didn't Lucen Hunter help destroy the souls of the Palisman and the Mindscape? No, they fused. Little boy, Majora's Mask, Belos, assimilated goopy monster Belos, and then he was adult Belos who could still do goopy hand stuff. So I took it as those two pieces of him combining let him become his present day form in his own mindscape, or rather gave him the power to do the bad stuff, the goopy arms, which Hootie ate, by the way. Them's the break kids. Them's the breaks, kid. Right before Ida's like, let me tell you the story about how I met your step parent. Luce is using glyph notes from Philip's journal, and one is like a little water stream. One is the petrification spell, which I think is a lie that it's permanent. You can do anything with magic, but also it's from glyphs. So even if the petrified people in the teaser are real, it's not. If it is real, which I don't think it is, it's not permanent. One of them was the Belos Scoopy hand thing, except it was red instead of greenish, that like greenish grayish kind of color. It was red, and it had the same claws. It almost looked like a glyph abomination. And Hootie ate it. So I also think Hootie will be the one to deal the final smash by eating the last of the Belos Scoop. And then he'll be connected to the Titan forever. Creepy how Luz is smiling. Yeah, we touched on it when we got to that part of it. I think it's definitely unsettling because I think she's making a conscious choice, and given she has had a history of blaming and judging herself, I think it could go either way. But she could be willingly sacrificing something for the greater good, which is something she's tried to do several times. It could be peace, but I'm like a look of peace, but it's the ripped glyph that keeps freaking me out. But yeah, it is unsettling, and I think it's supposed to be. Because it also, Yeah, it kind of blends, but it doesn't even go with like the bottom here, right? The little boiling isle sky and all the glyph pieces. I'm leaning towards one big ass glyph again. For a while, I had the theory that Lilith would carve a giant glyph to undo the collector's nonsense into Hootie. Because he had like graffiti on him and stuff, and he's endless, so it's a constant medium. I thought that for a while. The little sparkly boys at the base there also being glyphs. I like to think it's cutting through the darkness, and that's what Luce is doing. It could be one big awesome glyph. I don't want to lean towards sacrifice, but that is what it looks like with no context. What do you think the ripped glyph could mean? Going on the sacrifice route, I think the ripped glyph is failing. Or losing a piece, like her memories, something I talked about earlier in the stream. We're using a lot of the memory photos, and according to the show itself, they're extremely fragile, and a lot of really key moments, including Grom, are still on a clothesline in the classroom at Hexside. I guess that actually wouldn't be a bad comparison, like Full Metal Alchemist. Yeah. Also the concept of maybe even sacrificing glyphs, but I don't think that's going to be how it goes. Like, glyphs are connected to the Titan and wild magic. I think witches are going to defer back to glyphs. Because of anyone who joined a coven isn't going to get their magic back. Because do we know? I guess the coven heads all use their magic, but that's as puppets. But no, they use their magic. I still think something's going to happen to the world's magic source, whether they get cut off from the Titan or cut off from their bile sacs or something. Because we see Willow and Gus using glyphs. I think something's going to happen to where glyphs are going to be the norm, or necessary. I also think we've gotten foreshadowing from Willow and Gus that a witch that isn't cursed, using glyphs, they're crazy more powerful. Gus had a massive fireball when they were looking for the Galder stones, and Willow doing the Thorn Vault was like, whoa, like this thing's moving faster and bigger than I thought it would be in Wing It Like Witches. Hopeful interpretation could be the rip is breaking a cycle. Yeah, I guess. The glyph is breaking the cycle, though. Because everyone was doing the coven system, or being persecuted for not doing the coven system, and glyphs are an unknown alternate. But yeah, maybe. It is definitely a choice, and it is a choice that stands out. Now everyone's just talking about stuff I talked about earlier. No judgment. I just don't want to repeat myself.
We also have to get dinner before the stream.
Yeah, I also have to eat and then stream on my gaming channel. Playing Resident Evil. This went an hour longer than I thought it would. I could just ramble forever. Anyway. Final thoughts, final theories, final questions. Let's pull this out. Boop. But yeah, I think it's happening. Like, I'm still waiting for someone to tell me something else that could be. Your rambles are highly entertaining. Well, thank you. I will take that compliment. I hope so. It's been hard for me to gather my thoughts and make videos lately. There's just been a lot going on, and like I said, we just had a big windstorm warning because of all the tornadoes and everything Friday, and then we had like just regular windstorms over the weekend, and we're about to have another one I think tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, so it's been a lot of, and we had like a hailstorm the other day, so I've been like trying to film stuff, and there's just been noise, and stressing about that has been like making me harder to focus as it is. But thanks for hanging out and keep me company, whether you're watching this right now live in chat or you're watching this in the future. Hello from the past. I don't know. I'm still trying to work on some more Owl House finale stuff because I'm like, I don't want to feel like I'm like milking anything for content, but I'm also like, I just want to enjoy this. And I'm trying to coordinate stuff with people and obviously other things going on. Move stuff around a lot. That's nobody's fault. Or the leaks from For the Future really like screwed me on wanting to do like any content. Shout out to, again, another shout out to Elijah, not so average fangirl, and Morgan Terry. You'll never understand what we've been through. Never, because all three of us were like constantly like talking to each other. Like I can't open anything because people are just like sending me links and sending me spoilers and talking about things and adding me on social media, and I'm like, yeah, so it was a lot, and it sucked because I wanted to do something before For the Future. And then I thought Watching and Dreaming was going to premiere end of April, not beginning of April. So I thought I had like way more time than I did. So eggs on my face. And just been having some personal life stuff going on, but hopefully things start to turn around soon. Remember to like and subscribe. Everyone, go back and watch my old Owl House stuff and find all the other times I was right and wrong. Let's have fun. But no, I hope if you go back to the old Owl House content, I hope it's nice. I hope it's fun. I hope it's a nice encapsulation of, if not your experience, my experience, and maybe it's reflective of some of yours of going through the show. Cause I don't know. I always strive to find meaning in everything, themes, purpose. I always try to look for things and overanalyze things. But the Owl House really has a special place in my heart. And it's not because it's my most popular topic, because it is not. it's no Steven Universe or Adventure Time or whatever. But holy crap. Shout out to everybody who's ever worked on the show, everyone who's supported it, who got it on my radar, who clicks on my videos, encourages me to do more. I don't know. It's obviously important for a lot of reasons to a lot of people. It's just also crazy important to me and really helpful in a lot of ways. And I just think it's a beautiful thing, and it's a shame that it couldn't tell its full story, but I'm also just grateful to have an ending at all. Rip Infinity Train, rip Dead End Paranormal Park, rip a lot of things. But despite so many people feeling I'm like being negative when I like respond to comments and stuff, I just like talking to people about things in general. It's exciting for me. Especially Owl House stuff. And I've tried my best to word things so it doesn't sound confrontational or negative, and I'm still kind of working on it, because every once in a while someone's like, I'm sorry, or you're being mean, and I'm like, I'm not trying to be mean. Like, I'm like, did you watch the rest of the video? I talked about this thing. Like, what do you think? Like, we focused on a similar thing, or like, I had a completely different thought. Like, I get really excited, and I don't think that always comes across in text. So I like doing this stream because if nothing else, you're still text, but you could still feel me laughing and smiling and having fun and digging deep into it. Because I don't know. I just really love this show. And we'll still do some stuff after it's done. But it'll be different. We can talk about post the Owl House for the rest of time. We can only enjoy gearing up for the finale for a couple more days. And I'm hoping I can think of some ideas and have the not storms to do it leading into the weekend. But yeah, like, subscribe, ring the bell, donate if you can, get some merch if you want, thethirdbill.com. Leave a super thanks if you're watching this in chat. You can do that in the comments. Leave a comment with your thoughts. Like and subscribe. I said that. I'll be live in 2 hours on my gaming channel, Bill Chill Gaming, playing the rest of Resident Evil 4, which is an Owl House reference, so it's all in universe. Luce had a Resident Evil 4 poster in her room, and it takes place in Spain, and someone wrote light on the wall in one of the rooms, and I was like, haha, it's an Owl House, right, everybody? But I'm having a good time playing that game. I play lots of games over there. Go check it out. Plug, blah, blah, blah. Follow me on things, ring the bell, check the community tab. I'm trying to come up with more ideas sooner and then broadcast the thought early so people know, because I don't like doing last minute stuff, but I just have an idea and just run with it sometimes. If you want more streams like this about the Owl House or other things, watch, share, subscribe, comment, all that good nonsense. Be safe, guys. Hope to see you next time I upload or go live. Yeah, again, thank you to everyone who's worked on the show, and thank you to everyone who supported me overthinking and talking about the show and watching the show. Hope everyone's staying safe. Thank you, Alana, for modding. Thanks, guys, for hanging out. Go watch the Hootie Hole Theory. Share it. I think you found it. Someone was talking about the Hootie Hole Theory on like Reddit or Tumblr or something, and you showed it to me, and I was like, oh my God. It's so cool. Hope everyone's staying safe. Hope everything's going as positive as possible. Send love out into the world. For those who might need it, be safe, mindful of others. Wear a mask if you go out. Remember to take care of yourselves, please.